Assalamu alaikum dear learners, my name is Muhammad Tufajul Hussain and I am back with the new lesson for you today, and in this class I will teach you how to change active bias to passive and passive to active. Okay, so in this class basically I am going to talk about how to change the bias of imperative sentence, but before that I will tell you how to change the bias of assertive sentence. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, bias, as you know that bias is of two types, okay, active bias and passive bias. Normally we just express our thought in two ways, actively or passively, okay. So our mode of communication is of two types, active and passive. So in these two ways we normally express our feelings, okay. So this bias is of two types, active and passive. Active bias has one structure and another one is passive that has another structure, okay. So normally when the subject of a sentence does the action of the verb or performs the action of the verb is called active bias, and when in passive bias the subject doesn't perform the action of the verb directly, okay. So look at this sentence, I learned computer. So what do you think, is it passive bias or active bias? Well, this is active bias because here I is subject and I is performing the action of the verb learn directly. So this is active bias, okay, because here subject performs the verb action directly. Alright, I learn computer. For example, I myself learning computer. So here I am doing my action directly. So this is active bias, okay. And if you want to change this active bias into passive, you must follow a structure, and I must tell you that this is a universal structure for changing active bias into passive, especially assertive sentence, okay. So look at the structure. First of all, you have to take the active bias object as the subject of passive bias, okay. And then according to number, person and tense, I repeat, according to number, person and tense, you will have to use auxiliary verb, okay. And then the past participle from or B3 of main verb, okay. And depending on the situation or meaning, you will have to use the preposition, okay. You can use, normally we use by for changing active bias to passive, but you can use different prepositions depending on the meaning, all right. And then finally you have to take the active bias subject as the object of passive bias, okay. So if you want to change this active bias, I learned computer, into passive, how you can change it? So at first you have to take the object. So what is the object here? Computer. So computer, okay. And then AV means auxiliary verb. So as this is an interrogative sentence, I mean indefinite, present indefinite tense, so you will have to use is, because computer is third person singular number, okay. So computer is, and what is the main verb here? Learn, and learns B3 is learned, all right. And then prepositions, so preposition by according to meaning, and then what is the subject here? I. So I will be me, okay. So the passive bias of I learned computer is learned by me. Is that clear? Okay, so if you just do follow this very structure, you can easily solve the active bias and you can change it to passive, okay, especially for assertive sentence, all right. And look at this bias of imperative sentence. As I told you that our today's topic of discussion is how to change an active bias of imperative sentence into passive, okay. So if you want to change the bias of imperative sentence into passive, you will have to follow two structure basically, and this is the first structure, and this structure we normally use for affirmative sentence, all right. So what is the structure here? At first you will have to use let and then object. As you know that imperative sentence doesn't have any subject, so you will have to take the object, okay, and then be, and then the past participle form of main verb, and finally the rest of the part, okay. So look at this example. This is an active bias of imperative sentence, open the door, okay. so open the door. Here in this sentence there is no subject, alright. So if you want to change this active voice into passive, you will have to follow this structure because this is an affirmative sentence, alright. So at first you have to use let and then the object, okay, according to structure object. What is the object here? The door, okay, and then be according to the structure, and then you will have to use the B3 of main verb. So what is the B3 of main verb here? So main verb is open and B3 is open. So the full sentence is let the door be open. So this is the passive voice of this sentence, open the door. Is that clear? So if your sentence is just affirmative, simply you will have to follow this structure. And if you do follow this structure and change the active voice into passive, you can easily solve it. And in similar case, you can change the passive voice into active. If you just, as you know that active voice, first of all you will have to use subject, verb and object, okay. This is the structure of active voice, you know the structure. And now I will show you how to change the negative sentence of imperative sentence into passive, okay. So if you see the sentence negative, you will have to follow this structure. So at first you have to use let and then not or never, object, be, B3 and the rest of the part. So why not or never? Because we are changing the negative sentence here, alright. So if you see at the beginning of the sentence never, you will have to use never after let. And if you see like don't go there or don't read English newspaper, don't tease the poor people, like this, then you will have to use not after let, okay. So look at this sentence, active voice, never tell a lie, never tell a lie, okay. So if you are asked to change this sentence into passive, you will have to follow this structure, not this one, because this is for affirmative sentence and this one is for negative sentence, okay. So let, at first you will have to use let like the affirmative sentence, and then here we can see that never, so after let you will have to use never, okay. Let, never, and then object according to structure. What is the object here? A lie, so a lie, and then be, and what is the B3 of tell? Is told, okay. So the full sentence is never tell a lie, it will be in passive, let never a lie be told. Hope you understand it. And if you still have any problem, you can just let us know in the comment so that we can just discuss it in the next class. And do like and share this video with your friends. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.